I posted something on a comment. It actually, I think it was on this last video on the YouTube channel or whatever. I've noticed that, and at first I thought it was just when Jeff wasn't here and we were recording without Jeff, but the one where Jeff and I were without Mark, it happened too. Someone thumbs downs every episode that one of us is not here.
Oh, really?
I made a joke that it was probably whichever one of us wasn't here that week.
Whenever I answer the phone, I'm like, hello.
What pissed you off?
It's a great argument to have.
I love my mom, but I think she's half crazy for doing that.
How dare you?
Do you work with your girlfriend, Mark? Or your wife, Mark?
I keep them separated. Sometimes I call people, they don't answer the phone. I'm like,
Wrong number, click.
Well, he's not that smart, but sometimes he sounds like he knows what he's doing.
yeah.
Go.
But therefore, you're an ass, and I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, but what do we know? My white tee
White t-shirt.
is definitely much better dressed and better suited.
You're handsome and hilarious.
Wait,
Actually,
comparison. Oh, wait.
actually, speaking of that, I posted something on a comment. It actually, I think it was on this last video on the YouTube channel or whatever. I've noticed that, and at first I thought it was just when Jeff wasn't here and we were recording without Jeff, but the one where Jeff and I were without Mark, it happened too. Someone thumbs downs every episode that one of us is not here.
Oh, really?
I made a joke that it was probably whichever one of us wasn't here that week.
Well, just because I thumbs down your guys' show. I mean,
But it's funny, every time somebody's not there now, I get excited because I know someone's going to thumb down. I just keep reloading to see when it happens.
how long does it take?
Usually a day and a half, somewhere in there. So they don't listen right away, whoever it is.
So regions are set up. We are running. We're good to go.
We're
Okay.
recording?
We're
gonna
always
restart.
recording, except when we're not.
I was not prepared to record a show today.
Okay. I'm going to restart the meeting, or I'm going to discuss the topic that we're going to cover.
I guess I need. Yeah, probably. We should restart after we figure out what we're going to talk about, or if we just want to shoot from the hip. I don't have anything off the top of my head though.
I have something, but I don't know if it's going to last very long.
That's fine. It'll spawn into something else as it always
Probably.
does. So whenever we're ready, we'll restart the meeting, and then I'll give you recording rights.
Okay, let's get started then. Shut the meeting and give me recording rights. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
And okay, well,
That was a quick show. It's out.
Good. Had to do something. You know what? I honestly didn't see our pre-show discussion lasting all of 3 seconds. Especially when it was specifically brought up. Let's talk about what this show is going to be. All right, let's start it.
That's how we roll. We want to make sure things are genuine.
I mean, you guys just got a legitimate look behind the curtain. That's what happened. Let's discuss what is going to happen on today's show.
That's not.
I might have a topic. All right, let's go. That was what happened 5 seconds before this. All right.
Okay, everyone. This is What Do We Know? I'm Mark.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jeff.
Yes,
You don't
and
need to repeat, but it's-
so I just want to discuss what my wife and I have been doing lately is been watching WatchMojo.
I'm not sure this is going to be appropriate
What
for
is
our
it
audience,
rated?
Mark.
What is this podcast rated?
I'm sorry.
Never mind. Proceed.
Go on.
So my wife and I, we've been watching WatchMojo, and they have the top 10 lists, right? And what we've been doing is she'll be making a list of 5, and I'll make a list of 5, and we'll basically have a competition to see
So
who has the most matches.
I think before you continue on with the story, maybe for the benefit of the audience
tell me
and for
what that is.
myself, yeah, what is WatchMojo?
Oh, so if you don't know, on YouTube, WatchMojo is just like a whole bunch of series of videos, and they're pretty famous for their top 10 lists. So they make a list of top 10, like the most dramatic, 10 top most dramatic scenes, or the top 10 most the best anime characters in the 90s, or like the worst financial disasters in 1995. I mean, they do some very specific ones and some very generic ones, and they basically have like thousands of videos you can watch. Basically, for me at least, they're like one of the go-to videos for our top 10 ranking.
Okay, I've never heard of them, but
Yeah, I had never heard of it either. So I pulled it up real quick, and the Mojo Top 10 is what I searched for, and it immediately popped up like top 10 game show fails of all time, top 10 creepiest coincidences in history, top 10 disappointing deaths of great characters, top 10 weird laws of the world. Like,
Right.
Top 10 worst singers. That one's probably funny.
So anyways, one of them was the top 10 iconic songs that were made popular by movies, right? And it basically got us talking about Elton John's Tiny Dancer. And the reason why we really talked about it for such a long time is, do you know people who misheard Tiny Dancer, Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer,
as
to
Tony
be
Danza, sure.
Tony Danza?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I did a whole YouTube video about misheard song
Misheard song
lyrics
lyrics.
about a month or 2 months ago.
Oh, well then we should do that.
So I wanna get back more into this topic itself. I could tell you that I don't know what movie Tiny Dancer came from.
Well, I know it from Almost Famous.
That's what I was gonna say.
But Almost Famous was relatively recent in the grand scheme of the song Tiny Dancer, right?
Right.
I mean,
But
didn't Almost Famous come out in like sometime early 2000s?
Yeah.
I mean, Tiny Dancer has been a very popular and well-known song since long before that, so
Yep.
I couldn't say
Right, but
that's-
when Mark said it, I immediately thought of that movie, so it has merit.
I mean, it does have merit, but I don't know. I would just think of that song was already popular, so it wasn't really made popular by that movie, that it was already popular and well-known before that.
Well, okay, I'll give you their number 1 list on that top 10.
Don't forget
Hold
about
on,
me.
hold on, don't do it. I will see what we can get. I would definitely go with You've Lost That Love and Feeling. This has to be somewhere on that top 10 list.
Actually, it wasn't.
What? That is iconic Top Gun. Like,
Actually,
that's where everybody knows
really
that
good,
song.
though.
Unchained
Maybe we
Melody.
should make our own top 10 list.
Unchained Melody is probably on there, right, from Ghost?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that would probably, yeah. I didn't know what that was called at first.
That was the name?
Unchained Melody.
Yeah.
I just know it. Oh, my love.
Anytime you mention like songs that you relate to movies, I always think "Don't You Forget About Me" by who's that? Simple Minds or whatever from
I think Breakfast
Club.
Breakfast Club, yeah. I
That
also
was not
Breakfast
on
at
the
Tiffany's. What's the one from Armageddon?
The Aerosmith song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss a
Yeah,
thing.
that song.
Yeah, that one.
That was not on the
That
list.
was not on the list either. How long does this list go back? Does it go back to like 60s, 70s, 80s, or is it more new age?
Well, that's the thing with WatchMojo is you always have to sort of look at what year it was created, because sometimes you think of some really good ones after the video was created, and if it's too close to when the video was created, it may not be on the list. But they don't really go back way, way too far either. So usually most things on the list is somewhere around mid '90s to like mid 2005, 2010 ish.
What about that Elton John Lion King song?
No, I think what the specifics of that top 10 list was like songs that were made more famous because of the movie. So
not written for the movie.
Not made
popular
for
beforehand.
I don't even. I want to say, was it Lisa Loeb? I don't even know who it. Well, I can't remember the song. There was some really popular song that was on the Reality Bites soundtrack. I remember that's where it got famous from being on the Reality Bites
Stay,
soundtrack.
that Lisa Loeb Stay.
Was it Lisa Loeb Stay? Was that the one that was on that soundtrack?
That was a really good soundtrack all around, actually. That was a good movie. That was one of my favorite movies.
I've actually never seen the movie.
No?
Never seen the movie.
That wasn't on the list. You guys are just like my wife and I. We're really horrible at this.
No,
game
I
as well.
think I'm once we get done going through what we think, I want to hear what's Mojo or whatever put on the list to know if I agree or disagree that his list is better than ours or not. So we've already got like 4 songs that we've come up with that I think are quite iconic that were not on the list.
Right.
What about the, although Mark already said it doesn't go back very far, I'm thinking of Caddyshack, that Journey song at the end of it where the gopher's doing his little dance.
Oh, what song is that?
It's
Hey, everybody, we're gonna get laid. That's all I remember in the movie.
no, it's the one at the end where he blows up the whole golf course and the gopher pops out of his hole and is looking around at all the carnage. And he
Right.
starts dancing. I'm all right. Ain't nobody worry about me.
I remember the scene, but I don't remember the song like specifically being there. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head, and it's so funny because I'm gonna walk away from this. I'm gonna like turn on a movie and be like, "Oh, I know what movie this is based on the song that I hear playing." Like as the TV's turning on.
I know, and I don't want to sound like a music snob or anything, but I've been into like really deeply into music for a really long time, to the fact where people mess with me at work because 60-year-old guys who claim that they really like music, I can go toe to toe naming artists of songs that pop on the radio. You know, I go a long ways back. So
That's because you're old, Mike.
So when I think of music, like I don't really equate them to movies. They're music is music to me, and I don't generally I don't make that link.
How about Total Eclipse of the Heart, the Dan Band version from Old School?
No,
I don't think that
Old School where that Dan band got like famous. I see.
I'm pretty sure that's where they got famous from. Is like nobody knew who they were before that. Obviously, somebody knew, that's why they were in the movie, but the general public didn't know who they were before that, and they like blew up after that, like rightfully so. They just needed exposure for their fantastic like songs and lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just basically, I mean, and not to criticize them because they're much more talented than I am, but they basically just added a couple swear words to a popular song.
Yes, but honestly, that's really what you do nowadays. Like they pretty much said that every song has already been written. The only way to get something new is to like
not really true.
Intermix everything. You only have a finite number of chords and beats that you can put together. There truly is only a finite number.
Well, it is finite, but it's a pretty big section of
you heard me.
finite.
Every song ever has already been written.
I think that's way before they realized auto-tuning can change music, the face of music.
But that brings up a point. What did the Dan Band do? You could have an analogy that the Dan Band essentially, quote unquote, auto-tuned a song. Obviously, they didn't auto-tune it, but they just took a song and changed it in some way, shape, or form to make it theirs and new and different. And that's what auto-tuning is.
I suppose. But I mean, like, what I meant with auto-tune is, let's take a clip from the news. Now that's a song.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, like, I can't think of any more lyrics. All the song lyrics were created. They're like, let me open up a newspaper. Okay, here's some new lyrics.
Rapper's Delight from Wedding Singer.
No, that was not on the list.
Or even You Spin Me Right Round from Wedding Singer. The Wedding Singer, I bet, would have a couple of them in there.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I would say that brought back a lot of songs that used to be popular.
Love Stinks in The Wedding Singer.
Any more?
I was gonna say I'm really falling flat on this one.
Yeah, give us start with the bottom, Mark. See if they start spawning our interest or
Actually,
peak for
I
10.
don't have this list.
Oh,
Well, I can tell you one of the songs.
Guys, I got a topic. All right, let's do that. I don't have the list ready.
Well, whenever my whole topic was going to be misheard song lyrics, this is just the intro to it, and you're like, no, screw that. Let's stick with this one.
So Mike, do you remember "Hit Me with Your Best Shot"? What was that most well known for?
no,
For the misheard lyrics?
no, I don't.
You don't remember this?
No.
Lock the cat box.
No. Hit me
No.
with your pet shark.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yes, I do remember that now.
Because you and I, the reason I know about a lot of these is when we worked together at the bingo hall, somebody had brought in, it looked like one of those papers. Remember from old like Harmony House and stuff when you ordered CDs? And they would give you the sheet of labels that you would take off the labels and stick them to the envelope for your order because you always got like 11 free CDs and all that. And they had something exactly like that, but it was with song lyrics that were misheard by people, but they made it look like just like it was an eHarmony or an eHarmony, a Harmony House like order form, an eHarmony order form. I'd like this individual. This one
Actually,
likes long walks.
It's kind of funny you brought that up, and I meant to go back and read about this, but like it was only like a month or two ago. I hope I'm not making this up. I'm pretty sure about this. It was only like a month or two ago that Columbia House actually went out of business. I don't know what they've been doing this whole time.
It was only a month or two ago?
Yeah, I swear I read
Wow.
that they just went bankrupt or out of business or something. I don't know what they were doing in this whole stead because I haven't seen one of those booklets or whatever in a really long time.
Well, I mean, maybe they were operating in other countries.
Oh, I want
Exactly.
money from Empire Records. That's another one. Iconic song from a movie.
It is iconic. It wasn't on the list.
Damn it. Damn you,
And-
Mojo.
And actually, when you talk about Empire Records, that's not even the song I think of. I think
Figure
about
High?
that "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon" song. Edwin McCain, maybe.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon. Is
Yeah.
it at the beginning when she's like shaving her head or something?
No, she was like dancing around the store.
Oh, I don't remember that part. It's
Hmm.
been many years since I've seen Empire Records.
It's been a long time.
Like many years since I've seen Empire Records. Good show though, good movie though. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, Mark, have you brought up the list yet? Have we killed enough time for you to get
Well,
the list?
I can't actually bring up the list without watching the video because
Are
their
you
video.
sure that nobody has like a? I don't want.
I was gonna say somebody do a Google search on that.
What? But then we're gonna know it, and it's not gonna be able to spawn any new things because we'll know all of them. What's Mojo top 10 list? Dropping my mic. I'm dropping the mic and walking out of here.
Dropping the mic and walking out. All right. Well, just for kicks, I brought up the top 50 movie songs of all time.
Okay, I mean that's it. We can see how that compares. And anything that we actually said was on there.
What movie is this from?
Are you starting at 50 or starting at 1?
Um,
Can I give you at least the number one for?
I don't want the number 1. I want to see if I can get to the number 1.
oh, wait a minute. This is a bad list because these are songs just made for movies.
Oh, we.
We don't want that.
Somebody really should just go and type in like whatever they say, so you don't have to watch the video. That should be someone's job from now on. Just watch those videos and then spoil it for everyone.
Yeah, I pulled up the video on What's Mojo. Oh, here it is. I got it.
Yeah.
You have the list?
Yeah, I got the list. I just accidentally looked at number 1.
Obvious though, isn't it?
You're playing music, Mike. Stop it, please. Stop it, please.
I am?
Wait, maybe it's me.
Stop
I
it, Mike.
had
Stop
paused the
it.
video, but I clicked the button and it must have unpaused itself.
Stop it, Mike. Stop it. I'm
I
like,
just
what
didn't
am I
want to get a
doing?
I don't want to get a copyright claim, and that was my fault. Okay, so number. God dang it! I keep driving. Yeah, I just looked up the number 1, man, and I'm so mad because I would have gotten to that one had we just done this. So, Mike, I want to see if you can get to this one, to the number 1. Very, very popular. But number 10. That wasn't me this time.
I don't hear anything.
Things are There's like videos popping up all over my screen all of a sudden. Is this like a virus website? Like, this guy like known for giving viruses to people?
Well,
I
you
have no
found
idea
some
what you're
weird
looking at.
transcript page, right?
It's on his web. It's on WatchMojo.com. It's like right under the video on WatchMojo.com.
No.
Oh, so I watched this through YouTube, not their actual site.
So, Where Is My Mind by the Pixies in Fight Club, number 10.
Yeah, actually, I disagreed with this list by quite a bit.
I don't even remember that particular song. Maybe if I heard it, I would.
I was gonna say I don't remember it either, but I only watched Fight Club like once or twice because I didn't find it. I was not as big of a fan as most people.
Of Fight Club?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great movie.
I thought it was.
It's not one you can watch over and over again because, like, the ending was kind of made the movie, I guess. But I thought it was good. The first time I saw it, it was good.
Again,
And that was really good, except for the very ending where, the building started collapsing. I was like, nah, that seems a little crazy near the end.
A little wild. Got a little off tracks, but that's okay. It was good.
Does that spark anything in your mind, Mike?
What, Fight Club?
Yeah. I'm just asking before I move on to number 9.
Does it spark anything in my head?
Any new movie or music from movies you want to throw out there before we actually read them out? That might have been on this list.
No.
Okay. Number 9, Mad World by Michael Andrews Feet and Gary Jules and Donnie Darko.
See, I also think that's not made that famous by that movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, number 1, Donnie Darko had a cult following, but a lot of people don't even know what that movie is. Number 2, I've seen that movie, I don't know, a handful of times. I have no clue what that song is. And had you told me that song and who it was by, I would have never in a trillion years guessed it was from the movie Donnie Darko. So it clearly didn't do much for the song or the movie
or for the
grouping of the two.
Yeah. So this next one, I'm actually upset with myself for not having gotten. I would not have known the name of this next song just because I don't know it. But it's going to be like, you're going to be like, oh, of course. What's the song from the movie The Departed?
Oh, it's oh man, that Boston punk band.
Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys,
So
yes.
they are. The name of the song, which I didn't know until looking at this, is called "I'm Shipping Up to Boston."
I don't know that I knew the name either, I guess, but I should have got the Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, that is definitely very iconic and made much more popular through that movie. Not only because that movie was freaking fantastic. By the way, I was sitting on the plane on the way home from San Francisco, and a woman in the seat next to me, actually like across the aisle from me, so she was a little bit forward set, so I could see her TV screen, and she was watching The Departed, and I was watching her face the entire time. She had obviously never seen this movie, so like every so often I'd look over and see like what her reaction was. And then I stopped watching. When I was watching, I looked over and I realized they were getting to the end. And do you remember the end of that movie and like how everything all goes crazy and haywire all at one time? And I seriously spent that 20 minutes of the flight, and I was like, I gotta watch this lady's reaction to this movie. I gotta watch this lady's reaction. And like right when people started dying everywhere, she was just seriously like in her seat going. Like she was pointing all over the place. Like you could tell she was so focused and in a world of her own and was so just like thrown off by the fact that they ended the movie like that. I was like, that was fantastic. Like genuine reactions are the greatest.
See, I thought that was a good movie, but I didn't think it was fantastic.
Oh,
I would take Fight Club over The Departed.
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And as you know, I would not take Fight Club over The Departed because Fight Club is not that good of a movie.
It was good. The first time it came out, it was good.
I haven't seen the Departed, so no opinion.
You haven't seen The Departed?
I haven't seen a lot of films.
It's a good watch.
So number 7 on the list, Mark already has touched on. Tiny Dancer, made famous from Almost Famous.
That was.
So
good.
let me give you one of the.
We should be ranking these movies. That's what we should be doing.
So okay, Fight Club down on the bottom of my list. I can tell you that. The next movie, Donnie Darko, mid-range. Interesting, weird concept, like very dark, time travel aspect.
That might be lowest on my list.
See, I would put it above Fight Club.
But I like it. I like Donnie Darko, but we haven't heard a movie that I don't like yet. But Donnie Darko, I think, it had no budget. Like it was, you could tell it just is what it is. It was okay.
Mark, where are you putting these on your list?
See, I haven't seen most of these movies, so they're all on the bottom of my list except for maybe Fight Club because I've seen it.
So I think for me so far we have Donnie Darko, followed by Departed, Fight Club, and then Almost Famous.
That's from top to bottom.
That was from bottom to top.
Bottom to top. Okay, so bottom to top for me, we got Fight Club, Donnie Darko, Almost Famous, Departed. Okay, next one. Oh, another very iconic one. Oh man, Mike, this one. How am I gonna try?
I feel like we're playing the pyramid game where you try to.
Well, I could easily say something that's gonna obviously give it away. But think of Dancing in an Empty House.
It was what?
Dancing in an Empty House. Prostitutes involved in the movie. A young, famous, crazy guy.
Young, famous, crazy guy.
He wasn't crazy at this time. He went crazy after he joined the wonderful world of Scientology.
Oh, Risky Business?
There you go.
See, I've never seen that movie.
But what iconic song would you pull out of there? Just knowing Risky Business.
So I know the sliding across the floor in his underwear scene, but I don't know what song equates to that.
Good old man, Michigan-born rocker.
Seeger?
There you go.
Yep.
What song was Old Time Rock and Roll?
Yep. So where would you put Risky Business on there? Obviously not high since you haven't seen it.
I've never seen it, so at the bottom, I guess.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it. So
I'm actually waiting for someone to put a movie that they haven't seen above a movie they have seen. Like, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's better.
Well, okay, so if you put like a, who's the Night at the Museum guy? What, Ben Stiller. Like, if you have a Ben Stiller movie in here, that might happen because I might put that.
I would say
below the ones you haven't seen.
Might be below Risky Business.
Actually, I would say even more than that, Adam Sandler. Like, you probably haven't seen his latest couple of movies, but there's
I quit watching Adam Sandler.
And they're horrible, just awful.
See, what's the one where they're parents?
Their parents?
Their parents, and they're all together, like Chris Rock and Grown Ups. Grown Ups was really good.
Maybe I saw that one. I don't know. I don't know. I lost interest in him a long time ago. I saw one of them on accident, which is the one that he's like a comedian and he's dying or something. Funny People? Was that it?
It's called like Stand Up or Comedian or something like that. Funny People. Funny People, yeah. It was.
I think I saw bits and pieces of that. I don't think I actually sat down and watched it, but
it was really long and drawn out. I watched it. There were some funny jokes and stuff in there, but it was way too long and way too drawn out.
So when you look back at Adam Sandler's career, you had Billy Madison, which was just stupid funny, but it was the first. I mean, I guess he did like that Overboard movie before that, but that wasn't nearly as funny as Billy Madison.
Right.
And then
Happy Gilmore.
The charm started wearing off like immediately. The novelty of his whole brand of comedy kind of took, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, the novelty of his brand of comedy lived on for quite a while, but they were just in different films of Happy Madison productions.
Yeah.
Like ones that he wasn't in, Jesus, what's the one where the guy lives with his grandparent or his grandma? Grandma's Boy. That's it. That one was hilarious, and that was a Happy Madison production, but not an Adam Sandler film.
Right. Actually, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Was Dodgeball a Happy Madison production?
Isn't that a Ben Stiller movie? I would put that below Risky Business.
It is, but Dodgeball was hilarious. You can't go wrong with that. I don't know if that was a Happy Madison production.
You can go wrong. Don't watch Dodgeball ever.
Dodgeball was funny. It was funny. Looks like Average Joe's gym forfeits. Well, that's an interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see how that works out for him.
But where I was going with Adam Sandler is it looked like he was going to make a turn for the better sort of later in his career. Like he started doing a little more serious stuff. Like it's still comedy, but like when you talk about like Wedding Singer and like 51st States and stuff like that, like those were pretty good. But then he went off the rails like in a bad way. Like,
Well, then, and somewhere in the middle of there, he did Punch Drunk Love, which was just
I never saw that one.
don't
Yeah,
don't waste your time, man. It was
I won't. Don't worry.
I think it was around like Big Daddy where he started switching over to just like horrible movies like Little Nicky and
oh yeah, a little.
just
I
went
forgot about
down.
I
Little
forgot
Nicky.
about Little Nicky too.
I watched it
don't-
too because I
I
was
don't
like,
think I ever
oh,
saw it all the way through.
it was not good. It was not good. I would put that below most movies that I've seen or I haven't seen. I mean,
Yeah.
What was the movie? I lost track of what we were talking about.
so that was I don't know. We were talking about Risky Business there. So this next movie
Obviously.
I've actually never seen, and I didn't realize it came out as long ago as it did. But The End by The Doors
Yeah.
in the movie Apocalypse Now, 1979.
This is the end.
No, that's wait.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. It goes
Door.
slow.
For sure.
I don't.
You know, I've
I've
seen
never-
Apocalypse Now, and for some reason I don't think about that song, but I've only seen it, I think, one time.
See, I've never seen it, but I'm also not the biggest Doors fan. There's a couple Doors songs I like, but that's where I'd end that.
So, as someone who did a lot of LSD and marijuana in high school, I enjoyed the Doors.
They were the LSD marijuana type of music.
Yeah, they
So,
were.
I mean, I always sort of find that weird. Like, oh, I really enjoyed this music, but I need basically my mind altered to be able to enjoy it. Kind of.
And maybe that's part of it because I sort of think they were probably in the same mind state when they made most of their music, so maybe that's why it kind of syncs up. I don't know. I don't know why that works, but it does.
So none of these are like really perpetuating more movie songs that I know in my head. I thought they would start triggering some bells, but they're not. Okay. I have no idea what song this is. I know the movie very well, so I'm going to just give you the movie and see if you can name a famous song from it that might be on this list. Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
I
Was
don't know
that
if
the
it's...
Girl You'll Be a Woman Soon? Maybe that's what I was thinking of with that.
See, maybe I just don't know what the title of this song is, and it's a very famous song that I possibly know, but the title of it is Mr. Lou by Dick Dale and his Del Jones.
Wasn't that the song where they were doing
Or
the
Del
this
Tones.
dance to? I'm pretty sure that was that song.
Could be. I don't, off the top of my head, though, I cannot even start saying the lyrics of it because that name is throwing me off.
Did it even
Mr.
have
Lou.
lyrics? I'm not even 100% sure it had lyrics.
Well, maybe that's why I can't say the lyrics, and I'm remembering it perfectly.
So I was not really a Pulp Fiction fan. The rest of the world seemed to be, but
I've seen it a handful of times, and I've enjoyed it for sure. However,
It was
it's not
okay.
one of those movies. There's movies that people, when they go by on the TV, they have to stop and watch it. That is not one of those movies for me.
no. In
It's-
fact, I'll go right by it.
I would prefer to watch. You have to be in the right mood to watch Pulp Fiction. The
I
thing
guess.
I really
So-
like. Go ahead.
I was just going to say we got kind of behind on the rankings. I think I would put Apocalypse Now just ahead of Donnie Darko.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction is right in that neighborhood, though. Those three are kind of neck and neck. I'm not sure where Pulp Fiction would be. Maybe behind them.
I would put Pulp Fiction ahead of Donnie Darko. But still, it's just going to end up in the middle of my list somewhere.
I haven't watched Pulp Fiction, so I don't know.
You have no excuse for that one, Mark. I mean, you haven't been living in Japan since 1984. Oh, no, 94, excuse me.
It was one of those things like,
Yeah,
it's
94.
almost.
Oh, 94. I thought you said 84.
I did at first, but I realized that was...
I knew there was
and I
no
looked
way
at the
that was
screen.
84.
It's one of those kind of movies that I have never watched, but I feel like I know a lot of scenes from the movie because it's referred to so many times.
Like with the
Oh.
gag in his mouth and getting done from behind.
Or
Yeah.
the Big Mac,
Getting
or the quarter pounder with cheese.
yeah.
Royale with
Yeah.
cheese. So,
I know there's a suitcase that has a magic light in it that everybody's trying to get, I guess.
okay.
All right. For a movie we all are lukewarm on, we've talked about it for a solid 8.5 minutes now. Let's move on.
Okay, now this is definitely not a song I would equate with this movie, unless it's just the same title of a song I'm not thinking about. But Mike or Mark, do you know? Well, Mark probably not, because you probably haven't seen this movie either. Do you know any songs from the movie Reservoir Dogs?
No. Quentin Tarantino usually uses bizarre songs, though.
Yeah, he
So,
does.
Stuck in the Middle with You by
Oh, Steeler
Steelers
Wheelers?
Wheel. Yeah.
Right. That's the scene is when he's cutting up the person's
Yeah.
ear, actually.
But see, that's another one. I don't really think of that song when I think of that movie.
I definitely don't think of that song when I think of that movie, because I can't even place where it's at in the movie.
When I think of that movie, I always think of the Steve Buscemi line with the Mr. Pink. Why do I have to be Mr. Pink? Why can't we choose our own colors?
Okay, number 2. You've already said this one, Mike. Ghost.
I did? Oh, Unchained Melody.
Ghost, Unchained Melody. So number 1, though, I accidentally, like I said, I looked at number 1 and I first pulled up the page, and I am very upset with myself for not even having just instantly when this topic comes up, it should be the first thing you throw out there. And when I say it, you're going to be so mad at yourself for not thinking of it. I'll tell you, it's a movie from the 90s.
Okay.
So it kind of... What can I say without giving it away? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't from the 90s. It was from 2002.
Oh, really? Is that late?
That's absolutely not correct.
I was going to say, I remember this. I'm pretty sure I remember this from high school.
According to the website that I'm looking at right now, it says it's from 2002. And I guarantee it was from before that, because I remember my not being old enough to see it when it first came out, and my half brother had seen it like 4 times in the theater, because it was that good for, teenage males to watch. Saturday Night Live, Mike. Saturday Night Live.
Ladies Man?
No.
Shaw.
Shawing.
Oh, Wayne's World.
So what movie or what song?
Queen. The Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody.
There you go.
Right.
What year did that come out? That was not 2002, correct?
I
can't tell you.
It couldn't have been 2002, could it?
No, definitely not. I think that website is wrong, but let me find out.
It feels earlier than 2002.
I want to say it was 96, 94 maybe even. The video game came out in 1993.
Yeah, actually.
Wayne's World, the video game?
1992.
92, yeah.
92. So they must have just wrote 2002 instead of 1992 for whatever reason on the website. So Mojo, we're just helping you do some cleanup here. Fix it.
Yeah, fix it.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. That should jump to your mind immediately, because I feel like most of the world if you had told them Bohemian Rhapsody, they would have thought you were talking about a Shakespeare play or something like that. Until that movie came out, that was a song by Queen.
Yeah, that one I am very happy with being number 1. Ghost, I'm okay with being number 2.
Right.
God, the rest of them though, there's 8 of them. Well, okay, Old Time Rock and Roll for Risky Business. I'm okay with that one being on the list. But I definitely feel like the Armageddon song, that should have been way up there.
Right.
But that was another scenario they were talking about. I think that song was written for that movie.
Yeah, so it wouldn't count, right?
Was it actually written for that movie? Or
it'd be a song that was somewhat popular or made popular.
And if you're going that direction, I can think of a million songs that were actually made for movies that were more popular than that.
I don't know if we have time for a top million list, though.
No, we probably don't. That would be like a 600,000 parter episode, probably.
Okay, next episode. Get ready to listen to
part 1 of 600,000.
And be ready to disagree with 900,000.
Although I feel like I'm going to need more than a week to prepare that list.
You have a week and a half, Mike. A week and a half. All right, folks. Well, let us know if we missed any songs that you think should be on the top 10 list, besides what we've said and besides what Mojo here has said. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think should be on this list. So
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to the guy who thumbs down every episode. There's only 2
You're
of them.
only encouraging him, Mike.
I love it. No, I love it. I want him to do it every time one of us is gone.
But what are you gonna do when there's a thumbs down on an episode where there's all 3 of us here?
I'll say he recognized my shout out. I'll feel like I've communicated, become one with the thumbs downer. I'm happy. Thank you, thumbs down guy.
All right, guys. One guy, you can give us the thumbs down with permission. That is all.
Yeah, just one. Please, just one.
All right, guys. Stay tuned next week when Mike prepares his long list of songs that we will discuss for the foreseeable future.
See you guys. Take
See
it
ya.
easy.
Goodbye. Whenever I answer the phone, I'm like, hello.
What pissed you off?
It's a great argument to have.
I love my mom, but I think she's half crazy for doing that.
How dare you?
Do you work with your girlfriend, Mark? Or your wife, Mark?
I keep them separated. Sometimes I call people, they don't answer the phone, I'm like, them.
Wrong number, click.
Well, he's not that smart, but sometimes he sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Go.
But therefore, you're an ass, and I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, but what do we know?